Good afternoon, everybody. I think you are looking to two very happy men after our qualifying game against Uganda last Friday, sorry. At the other end, you are also looking at two men who are still not satisfied. Satisfied because we want to win the game of tomorrow. This is not a friendly game. For us, it's an important game because we want to be first in the group. And we also want to show something, if my information is right, to the crowd who will be tomorrow in the stadium. So we got two amazing evenings in Bloemfontein and in PE with a crowd in the stadium and with a nice win. So we will do that again tomorrow here in Cape Town. That means that we are still motivated for the game of tomorrow. And again, it's very important for us that we can finalize those qualifiers as first in the group. It should be the cherry on the top, like people say. Thank you.
So please first introduce yourself and from which media house you're coming from before you ask the question. Okay, we'll start here with you, Mark.
Yes, so Mark Houston. I wanted to ask you, based on what you said, then Sundowns players will be used in tomorrow's game. Did they try and ask you if they could be?
Sundowns players are till tomorrow after the game players of Bafana Bafana. And they stay players of Bafana Bafana.
Coach Ashraf Mohammed from independent newspapers. Seeing that you've qualified and you're top of the group, and obviously you want to be top of the group after tomorrow, are you still going to play your strongest team, or do you want to give maybe some of the youngsters opportunity game time, like Lily Bogili and others?
Yeah, you know that this is a question I can't answer. First of all, I want to keep all my players motivated for tomorrow. And secondly, I will not give information to my opponent. So you will have to wait till tomorrow, 6 o'clock.
But just in terms of the crowd, looking at it, because these World Cup qualifiers also coming, it could be an opportunity.
Yeah,
to see how
but
they handle.
yeah, but I don't like taking this game as a friendly game. And when you start changing everything, that means that maybe also players will feel, well, oh, yeah, look, he's chasing 6, 7 players. So I don't want this. What I said in the beginning, I mean it. We want to be first, and we will try to put our best team tomorrow on the pitch.
Mark.
Can I ask Ronwen? Ronwen, it's your 50th tomorrow. What was your best ever Bafana game?
Good day, everyone. First and foremost, it's nice to be here again. Seeing a packed press conference room for the first time in forever, it's nice. It shows that you guys are behind us now. So, yeah, I think the most important game for me was the first game, which was against Brazil. Even though we lost 5-0, I still have so many memories. And that game taught me so much. It's probably the reason why I am where I am today, because I had to persevere. I was called many names, and it made me strong at such a young age. I think I was 22 years old, and there were so many doubts for many, many years. And that game just made me, at such a young age, turn me into a man. And that was probably the most important game that I've played for Bafana.
Coach Sanlile from Goal. What more will your team need to do to go a step further at AFCON? You've qualified now. You were there 9 months ago. To go maybe to the semi friendship. What will you need to do?
Honestly, that I worry for in 1 year. my worry is now to qualify for the World Cup. And we will see how we are going to do that in March and September and October. This is our goal now, except the game of tomorrow. But after the game of tomorrow, the focus will be on qualifying for World Cup, because we want that, and I think not only we, I think all South Africa wants again South Africa on a World Cup. So this is what we will try to do, and this is what we will analyze in the next months. How can we be better, even better than now? It's still possible. So again, first things first, and that's the game of tomorrow, and then we will see how we will do it in qualifiers for the World Cup, because it will be the most important goal now, qualifying for 2026.
Ronwen, as the players' mindset also changed, coaches spoke about World Cup qualification now. You guys did so well at AFCON, now you've qualified again for AFCON. It's almost like in the past, the World Cup was almost like something you can't even think about because Bafana just didn't qualify. But now is it a realistic goal and something the guys are confident of achieving?
Oh, definitely. Even the last World Cup campaign qualifiers that we had, we were a few minutes away from qualifying. We all know what happened when we played Ghana. And we had such a perfect qualifying campaign. I think we went undefeated until the last game. You know, we scored, we didn't concede many. And that's when I think the turnaround started for Bafana Bafana. So we started well in this campaign. We've done well in the AFCON qualifiers now. So we're on the right trajectory, and we need to keep it like that. And going into next year, March, you know, we will be confident. I mean, why shouldn't we be confident? We've been getting the results, we've got the experience, and we've got the players now, you know, and the players got the experiences, they've got the minutes under their belt now, and that's important.
Coach, Nick said from Reuters, if you avoid defeat tomorrow, it'll be 19 games unbeaten since your loss to Mali at the start of the African Nations. That would make it a Bafana Bafana record in their entire history, the longest unbeaten run. What growth have you seen in the team between that loss to Mali and now?
You know, I'm not really occupied with records and all those stuff. It makes me proud when someone tells me that's statistics of the team, and that makes me proud. But for the rest, for me, it's only the next game was important. And okay, I think the figures are fantastic when you see, and that I know. So I think tomorrow is my 40th game with the Bafana Bafana, and let's hope that we win tomorrow. So that means that we only 6 games lost. And when you see against who, in Ghana, in France, in Morocco, to name those 3, then you can only be proud of that, and not only me, but all the team, of the achievements we did in the last 2-3 years. So it was a long way. It was sometimes a very difficult way for me then. But yeah, it was worth when you see where we are now, and we are talking about qualifying for World Cup. And I think 3.5 years ago when I came here, nobody talks about World Cup. And some of them, they looked at me when I said South Africa has to be every AFCON there. And I meant it then, and you see that we can achieve that. But yeah, it took time, but again, I'm a very happy man now, and I'm looking forward to the games that will come next year for the World Cup.
Coach, you said last week that if you don't qualify, you are going to pack.
Yeah. You know, I'm not stupid. I knew that we were qualified. So.
But also, coach, remember when you didn't qualify to Ghana, you said if we don't qualify for 2026.
Yeah, but you know, this is how much? 3 years ago. And if you compare the team from 2 years ago and the team now, I think this is a difference of day and night in everything, in quality, in power, in results, in whatever you say. It's a big difference, and we worked on it to make that team. And again, it was not easy. Certainly not in the beginning. Nobody understood what I was doing. Young players and no players from Chiefs, and oh, what is that? And nothing was good. But okay, we are now where we are, and I think that everyone is proud of Bafana Bafana for the moment, and you see it on the crowd. Yeah. At last, they found a way back to the stadium, and that makes me also very proud to see that. If my information is right, tomorrow there will be a big crowd in that stadium, and this is nice for the players too. We played games. Okay, it was COVID period, but we played games for nobody. You have to play a game, an important game, for nobody. This is terrible. So everything changed, and we are very happy with that.
Yeah.
Afternoon, Coach, and Captain. Honored to have you in Cape Town. Inshallah here from Soccer Beats. Ronwen, this question is for you, Captain. You're probably the guy who's seen the squad go through the evolution or revolution and the changes. One part is, where was the turning point where you, from where you were, you thought, yeah, I wanna now. I think I'm probably going somewhere. And also, you know, what did that tell you? Are you going to win something eventually, or you just want to achieve qualification, or what was the standard?
Yeah, there were many moments, over the last few years, especially when the coach came. I mean, when we had that World Cup campaign, I think it was coach's first 6 months, and we collected so many points, and we were so short of reaching that World Cup. Like I said, we were 90 minutes away, and that's when, the guys had that belief. The belief started creeping in. You could see it, and I mean, since then we haven't lost many games. When we went to Morocco, I mean, they are the powerhouses of African football, and I think we've beaten them now twice in the space of a year. And that's when I knew, that South Africa's, they've turned the corner. When we go into a game, there's no fear anymore, and they know us now. They come up to us, they speak, they know our name. So that shows the good work that we're doing as a team and as a country. So there's many moments over the last few years where, you could see, that, the turning point is creeping in. And then there were many moments that you felt, we're going back to our old ways. And the coach had to nip it in the bud, and there's so many things, that go on behind the scenes. And once we get rid of all those negative things that sometimes creeps in, then we start focused again, and then we start qualifying, then we start doing well. So it's just for us to remain consistent and continue doing what we've been doing.
I thought you were going to say you put Ghana on the bullseye.
Kieran Thompson, EWN Sport. Question for Ronwen. Just to follow up on that, how has the manager gotten you guys to buy into this new way and just instill that belief within the team?
Just when you see the results, as players, players always have their ways of how the game should be played. But when you have a coach who has the experience, who has the knowledge over many years of coaching and achieving things, you buy into what he says. And like I said, we've had so many good moments, that sticks with one, and you just, you want to learn from him and you want to give him your all, because he's got the experience, and he showed the similar path when he was with Cameroon, and I mean, over the last few years, what we've achieved as a country, not many people speak about it, but the amount of games we've won away from home, now when we go there, we don't go there with a negative mindset. We want to sit back. No, we go there, we want to win the game. And we showed this now the last game in Uganda, a packed stadium, it doesn't faze us anymore. So we walk around now with that confidence and that belief, and obviously we get it from the head coach.
For both of you, coach and captain, from Bama, from TV. You haven't had the national team for a very long time in Cape Town. What can the fans expect on the day, given that you guys have qualified already? But what can the fans expect tomorrow?
Good fans. Yeah. Yeah. What kind of fans do you expect? I think if those people are coming to see us playing tomorrow, then you expect that they will be behind us and that they will support us in difficult moments, because then supporters are important. When everything goes smooth, we don't really need a supporter. But the moments when the team is struggling on the pitch and there is a crowd shouting and singing, and that gives you energy as a player, that gives you motivation, and you get over those difficult moments. So tomorrow, yes, I hope that we have the same crowd that we had in Bloemfontein and in PE. That was a crowd who was behind us, who pushed us forward, and I hope that we will have those supporters tomorrow also in the stadium.
And they shouldn't run in the field.
Sorry?
And they shouldn't run in the field.
Yeah.
Coach, just in terms of your team, obviously a 2-0 win in Uganda is a very good result, but what improvements you want to see tomorrow against South Sudan? South Sudan beat Congo, so they're not too bad.
Yeah, therefore again, we take this game very seriously. There was somebody who told me the last days, yes, we have a comfortable game against South Sudan. Yeah, don't underestimate a team, and it should be a lack of respect for our opponent. And when you have no respect for your opponent, you can be sure that things go wrong. So, and I'm not afraid of that. I know the guys now for a few years. I know what the mentality is from those guys and the mindset, and they will be ready tomorrow to win that game again and to do everything to win that game, because otherwise we will not win it. You can be sure. So it can be an easy game, but it can also be a very tough game, and we have to be prepared for that.
Ronwen, just when you attended the event, the main event, you spoke obviously of how your international career started, but surely being there was sort of culmination of everything and every effort that you put in, and also just what were you doing? Who were you mingling with? And just the experience.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's years and years of sacrifice, and the main thing is just perseverance, not giving up. Like I said, my international career didn't start on the best note. And for long, I had to fight that and overcome it. And it was difficult. Some moments it was difficult. Some moments, it's you just try and play it off, but it just couldn't leave me. People kept bringing that up, and it just stuck with me for such a long time that I had to have a wonderful AFCON at the highest level for people maybe to finally let it go. Even though it happened 10 years ago, people still brought it up. So for me, it was just about controlling what I could control, was my experiences that I've gained over the last few years, my performance, the way I see the game, and just to, put Bafana where it rightfully deserves to be, and I think over the last few years it's been good for us, and we just need to continue doing that, continue fighting, and when things are tough, just persevere, because eventually things will turn out for you if you remain professional, if you continue doing the right things. And that's what I love by, doing the right things all the time and just being professional. Yeah, on the event, obviously that was an amazing achievement, but I couldn't have done it alone. So many people that one could thank, but we would sit here all day. So I was just there, trying to take it all in and, rub shoulders with the best of the best. And yeah, I was very close with Lukman. That was nice, for him to, because obviously the first time for us to be in there, and I don't know anyone on a personal level. So it was good that I had someone that I could, discuss and have conversation with. And yeah, it was nice to have Lukman in my corner, and we had a nice chat about the World Cup qualifiers coming up next year. And so, yeah, it was a perfect event.
Coach, on the subject of going to Bloemfontein, PE, Cape Town, obviously Johannesburg and Pretoria at altitude gives you an advantage when you're playing visiting teams. It's always been an advantage for South Africa to play in those cities, but the crowds are traditionally quite poor. Would you, on the back of what you've seen in Bloemfontein, on the back of what you saw in PE, hopefully on the back of what you see tomorrow night, perhaps push to, would you prefer to play your games in front of bigger crowds, or would you prefer to have the advantage of the altitude in
Again, the most important thing is to have a crowd. This is the most important thing. Again, we saw it in Bloemfontein and in PE. When the crowd is behind you, you can do more as a team. This is a fact. So I will always choose the place where I know that the crowd will come. But again, and as I said already many months before, you need results. How can you make people coming to the stadium when the results are not good? This is very difficult. So now the results are there, and little by little you see people are coming, and it is important that even now everything goes well with the team, that they are there. If tomorrow you play for 5,000 people, yeah, it's very difficult. This is very difficult. So again, we will see in the future where we can play and where we are nearly sure to have a crowd behind us. Because again, the games that now will come for a World Cup are maybe more important than what the games were now in September, October, and November. Everyone wants the World Cup, everyone wants to go. So, certainly me in the first place, because that should be for me a fantastic end of my career, being on a World Cup with the national team. So, yeah, we will try to do that in the best circumstances. And one of the circumstances is that the crowd have to be behind us.
Coach, Gerald here, Chris, okay. Qualification for AFCON secured. Without looking further ahead, how confident are you of getting that ticket to the USA?
I didn't understand you.
How confident are you of qualifying for the World Cup?
Oh, no. Honestly, I'm confident, but that doesn't mean that we will qualify. We need to still play 6 games, and all those games will be difficult. All. Don't say, yeah, but Nigeria maybe no. All those games will be difficult. But I'm confident because I know the potential of this group. I know the quality of this group. We have the potential to qualify for World Cup. But I can't give you a guarantee and say, yes, we will. Each World Cup qualifies. But when you compare the qualifiers for Qatar and you will compare now the qualifiers, I think we are much better than that period. So the confidence is there. It's up to us to achieve it.
Okay, the last two questions. Starting.
Ronwen, just lastly from me, on goalkeepers union. What have you made on Sage Stevens and his time in camp so far?
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, myself and Sage come a long way. Academy days where we competed, and now to see so many years later us together in the national team, it's amazing. It speaks volumes of his personality. He had things wasn't easy for him. He had to fight, he had to dig deep, and now towards the end, he's doing well and he's getting the recognition. He's been, he's a character. Like all goalkeepers. So he came in, he was himself, and we welcomed him with open arms. And yeah, I'm just glad, that his good work has finally been rewarded.
Last question.
I'll take it. Coach, have you started planning then for next year? Because intriguing me is what are you going to do in the June window, because you can't have your players that are going to the Club World Cup. Are there any friendlies for that window? There's nothing on in June qualifier wise.
Yeah, in March we have 2 qualifiers, but then June there is friendly games. There are no.
Not Namibia or.
They are not. Yeah, they are not. But we have no. But we have to take attention. The Sundance players will not be there. They are playing World Cup for clubs. So it should be very bad that CAF FIFA should organize qualifiers in June. So there will be friendly games, and I want good opponents.
And how much say do you have in that, sir? Because it would seem to me from the outside that SAFA make these decisions only 1 or 2 months before the date, by which time all the decent opponents have already fixed the game. How much planning before July are you doing now? How much pressure are you putting on the SAFA people to get you good opponents?
Well, I don't really believe that every team has already a friendly game for June. I think it's a little bit too soon. But okay, now we will start looking for opponents and see who is free and see who wants to come to South Africa, or do we have to go to them? We will see now. There is time enough. There is 6 months. And again, I should be very, very surprised that all those teams has already accomplished their program for June. I think there are many teams or many countries also who have to take account in that World Cup for clubs. Certainly the players who are playing in Europe in all those different countries. So yeah, it will be a difficult moment also because take us. You can't ask the players of Sundance for a friendly game when 1 week later they have to play a World Cup. That's not done. That is not done. So again, we will see. But you can be sure that we will try to have the best opponent that we can get. And this is something I said already before.
Belgium, sir?
Well, why not? If Belgium should be free at that moment, why shouldn't we play in Belgium? We don't have to play against an African team. So if there are maybe European countries who are looking for friendly games, we will see what the best for us is. But it has to be a good game. And with all respect, but I don't want to play against Andorra or Liechtenstein or it has to be a very good game because from those games you learn the most.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, coach and captain, for coming to this press conference. Before you guys wrap up,